Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Oh, yes. Again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have the ability to choose our thoughts, to accept, reject ideas, to originate ideas, and from there be loyal to those ideas. See, that's the beginning of transformation in the mind, in the form of an image, being loyal to the unseen reality. And that's what we invite you to connect with so that you can lead your life to the way that you would love it to be. See, this is where the work comes into play. This is where what we call application comes into play. See, it's application, baby. See, that's where it's at. It's through the use of information that change happens. And again, that's the theme of everything. It's the foundation of everything that we share. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the program that we created called Emergence, the first lesson is the golden rule of application. Because again, if you don't use what's being shared, life won't change. But unfortunately, from the personal development world has been planted the seed of collecting information. And maybe that's been you. Maybe you've been collecting information, and things haven't been changing. And you realize, oh my gosh, things haven't changed. Why? Because you haven't used the information. See, that's where it's at. And the analogy that I can give you is something as simple as a key. Think of a key that's on the counter in your room, or maybe there's keys right now on your table where you're sitting. The question is, are those keys useful? And many people will answer, yes, they are useful. But the answer is no, they're not. Not until you pick them up and insert them into the keyhole for the lock and then turn. See, that's when the lock opens. And then on top of that, the lock has to be shaped to be able to receive the key. See, the information has to be correct. The point is that there must be movement in order for there to be change. And again, that's something that we really want you to grab onto and use. Now, there's a reminder that we want to share with you that Dolly and I both have connected with and have put into play. And that is on January 3rd, we have this beautiful new event called Emergence that's going to be there as well, where we're going to help you to implement what it is that we're sharing with you. And we highly recommend that you go and register for that. You can go and register at elevitality.com. You'll see it at the front page. Click on the button and register, and then get ready for a wonderful, beautiful change in you. Now, what we're going to be going over mainly is what makes us different compared to everybody else, and then also ways for you to practice and use this information a way that will lead you into the change that you seek. So go register. You know why? Because you're worth it. Oh, yes, you are totally worth it. All right, so what have we been studying? We've been studying this beautiful gem. And boy, I can tell you what, this has been amazing for me personally going through this. And I love obliterating, decimating, destroying the idea of self-sabotage, because there is no such thing as self-sabotage. You are not battling against yourself. You are not your own worst enemy. None of that's true. And for sure, you're not self-sabotaging. See, what's happening inside is not self-sabotage. What's happening is an enforcement of rules that are in you that are basically deemed as safe by your subconscious mind. See, that's not self-sabotage. That's a program running. And the best part is you can change the program. You can change it. See, what's been planted there can be removed. It can be replaced. It's not a fixed condition of things. And that's what we share here at Elevitality, and that's what we're hoping that you grab onto. All right, so let's go into this, shall we? Let's dive into more of what we've been studying and go into where we left off. I'm going to go ahead and switch this on. Boom, here we are. Now, the page that we're on is page 110, okay? If you have the soft cover, page 110. And I mean, here it is right here. The only way this information will change your life is if you apply it in your life practically. Now, I want to emphasize the word practically. Practically meaning you're using it with whatever you're going through. You're running it in your mind. And again, this is really important. And it ties into understanding this book itself. I mean, just think about the words that are here. In the previous paragraph, it even says it. It says, this very book you are reading is nothing more than static energy. The words on this page hold no power on their own. They are merely information, intellectual knowledge, until you use what is shared. And then even in the previous paragraph before that, knowing something is not enough. Information that remains in the conscious mind as intellectual understanding alone is static. It is simply knowledge stored, not knowledge applied. Now, again, that's a really important thing to get. You've got to use the information. So in other words, when we say imagine great things for yourself, we literally mean imagine great things for yourself. When we say look for the good, we literally mean look for the good. When we say hold on the screen of your mind this image, we literally mean hold it on the screen of your mind. When we say to think from it, we literally mean to think from it. See, that's what it means by practically. And that's what we're inviting you to tap into. Now, when you move beyond intellectual understanding and engage emotionally with the ideas, you activate dynamic energy, turning knowledge into power. Remember, knowledge is not power. Our school system, our society, the paradigm of the culture teaches that knowledge is power. It is not. Many people think and believe that, knowledge will get you there. It's not true. If that were true, then that would mean those who take the most courses, have the most degrees, who read the most books, deliver the most results. And we all know that that's not true. We know people who don't have hardly any knowledge when it comes to success, and yet they're highly successful. See, knowledge itself is not what's going to get you there. Now, if you don't shift information from intellectual awareness to emotional involvement, it remains powerless. And this is the reason most people who study and know this information never deliver the results they seek. They have not moved the knowledge. They have not impressed it into their subconscious mind, which means it has no power to influence action. Now, again, really think about that. Really grab onto what I'm saying here. Remember, every action you take, every action you don't take, it automatically happens. And in terms of what motivates that action, inaction, it's called emotion. See, that's feeling. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is what leads to your automatic actions, of which everything you do automatically happens. Well, what determines that emotion? Well, it's how you're thinking. And guess who has control over how you're thinking? See, that's the only power you have, is to choose your thoughts. You don't have this power or will to move yourself into motion. That's not true. If you want to take massive action, you must feel it first. See, that will lead to the massive action you're taking. And that's what we share, and that's what we hope that you grab onto and use. Now, to create change, knowledge must shift from something you know to something you embody. Now, let's think about that. Let's grab onto that when it comes to your goal. All of you should have your goal. If you have your goal card, wave it here in the air right now. Wave it in the air. Okay. Now, this is important. Remember, this is knowledge that you've written on this beautiful card. It's a beautiful image. It's a picture. If you do not shift this from something that's there intellectually, something that's in your conscious mind, to something in your heart, it will not take shape in your outer world. You've got to embody embody it. You've got to connect with it. You must become one with the idea. And unfortunately, that's something that most people do not do. It must become emotional, because whatever is impressed upon the subconscious mind will be carried out without question. Now, how do you know whether or not you are connected to this idea? How do you know whether or not you have become one with this? How do you know whether or not you're thinking from it? Well, just look at your results. Look at what you've been doing. If you haven't been doing things that are in harmony with this, it means you haven't connected to it emotionally. It's very simple. Remember, your results always tell the truth. Say that. My results always tell the truth. Type that in the comments. My results always tell the truth. And what do they tell the truth of? They tell the truth of what you are truly emotionally involved with. And what's beautiful is if you don't like it, you can change it. Think about that when it comes to how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle. You can shift your outer world by changing what's happening in your inner world, by changing what you're connected with. And again, that's what we are inviting you to invite into your life. Now, before we proceed further, for those of you who are watching this live stream and would love to tap into more of these calls live and watch the replays, of which every one of these calls is recorded, which are available for you to access, then go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You'll thank yourself later.